Hi, my name is April Hodgman, and this is an overview of the lesson that I created using the ADDIE model. The lesson that I made is for a government class of juniors and seniors. The students that I used as my test group were all juniors. The lessons to be taught after a brief overview of state and local government and how they function. It's part of a larger state and local government unit, and this is the end of that unit. It's called Government Works Project, and the students are required to examine and observe how their local government works. I just have open the teacher guide that I've revised after getting some peer reviews and the student reviews from the test group. So I'm just going to walk you through it briefly and kind of give you a basic overview of what I've created. So if you look at the first page of the unit, you have the table of contents. It goes through how to use the guide, the different points of emphasis, the suggestions for potential struggles or challenges, leading questions, which I created as different board work activities, directions and times for each exercise, the project overview. Then this is stuff that the students all have in the student guide: the project overview, the points, the observation guides and resources, the courtroom observation worksheet, the school board observation worksheet, the city council observation worksheet, making a Prezi, what your Prezi should include, and the peer review. So again, like I said, this pages 1 through 3 are all just strictly in the teacher guide, and then the rest is also available in the student guide. So the first page is just how to use the guide and the points of emphasis. Goes through basically walking any teacher through how to teach this unit. So one of the things that I added here were to remember that a lot of the unit is going to require some time outside of class because the students are required to observe in a courtroom, in a school board meeting, and as well they have to be part of a town hall meeting. But one of the things that I changed after the peer reviews as well as the teacher reviews were, the student reviews and the teacher reviews, was the fact that that's asking a lot of time outside of class, and so I changed it to one of those needed to be completed outside of class, and then 2 would be provided as videos in class. So that was part of what I've changed so far. And I have yet to implement this lesson completely just because it doesn't fit into my pacing guide until the third 9 weeks. So it just goes through some of the points of emphasis, that you need different technologies, you need a computer, you need a lab of computers for the students, and that I used my leading questions as board works or bell ringer activities or journal entries or something like that, just to get the class thinking. So then I went through some of the potential challenges, and one was that they didn't have enough time to attend the required observation. Since I changed it from 3 to 1, I thought it might still be a struggle since a lot of my students do have after-school jobs or internships that they might need then the third observation and video as well. And so I decided that that could be a possible accommodation or modification for students with excused schedule challenges. Another one that I thought of could be not enough computers, and then I thought that students could just work in partners and take turns and then help each other out in that way. The leading questions, again, I said were different board works or journal entries that could be used. So there I provided 6, and this particular lesson would only be about 3 or 4 days in class, including then time for students to do the peer reviews. I then walked the teacher through each of the different lessons for those days. So each of my lessons is about 45 minutes in length, and a couple of my classes I teach blocked, and so this would just take a shorter amount of time for them. But I do see them every other day, so it wouldn't really be a shorter amount of time. So I changed in here some of the observations to be provided via video instead of actually going out and seeing them. One of the days was creating a Prezi practice and then getting their Prezi set up to fill in their information. I also gave a day for peer review where students would look at each other's presentations and complete a review worksheet where they would basically analyze what was missing and what the grade they would give their assigned peer. I took 2 to 3 days depending on length of presentations. I don't think it would take much more time than that, just because a lot of the observations are going to have been the same. So then on page 5 starts where the students would have all of this content as well. So it just gives a brief overview of the project. It says you'll be learning about the different functions and proceedings of 3 local government organizations. They'll be observing at least 1 hour at one of the different government organizations, and 2 would be via video in class. They're required to create a Prezi presentation based on their experiences and findings. They have to review one of their peers' presentations as well based on the project requirements, and then broke down the different points that they would get for each of the different project requirements. I gave them an observation guideline and resources to set up their observations. Since they only were required to do one of the actual observations, I think I gave plenty of resources. So I listed some different places where they could find information on when the meetings are held and things like that. So they just have to go through and schedule something. I then made worksheets for each of their observations. Again, 2 of them are going to be completed in class, and then 1 would be on their actual observation outside of class. Then provided them with an outline on how to make a Prezi and what their Prezi should include, and then their actual presentation guidelines as well. They have a peer review to complete, like I said, based on the requirements for the Prezi. They will look at their partner's Prezi and grade it according to the requirements. Then they would have a chance to review it and before they turned it in to be graded by me. So that's an overview of my unit, more specifically the project at the end of my unit. I hope you can see how I was able to utilize the ADDIE process, and that maybe you have gained some insight or ideas to use in your own classroom. Thank you.